So the first thing that you're going to want to do is go to portal.restorationpm.com and enter your login credentials. So we're going to go ahead and log in. This is the dashboard. This dashboard is what the owner-facing dashboard, what every single person, it doesn't matter if you're a board member or an owner, is going to see whenever they log in. You can immediately see your account balance, make a payment, any upcoming assessments that may be charged. As a board member, you have access to this section showing there's 2 tasks involving an ARC request as well as one for the board task. Also down here, any open issues that have been noted in your portal. The first thing I want to draw a note to is there's an option here to go paperless. If you would, click on this link right here. It's going to bring you right to a section where you can update your communication preferences to email as opposed to paper. It's just going to save your association money. I'm going to skip most of what's in here because this is the owner facing. We really want to get to the board section. But I do want to touch on the document section here. Homeowners have access to the documents. Board members have access to more documents. Because Abraham Lincoln, who we're mimicking right now, Abraham Lincoln is a board member, he's going to have access to things such as financials board. But he's also a homeowner, and he's going to have access to the association financials, which is simply a redacted or a smaller version of the financials. But every single month, whenever we post this to the portal, you as a board member are going to receive those financials. You can simply click on the links and we can see that February financials are already posted for Presidential Valley, which is this association. It's our test environment. What you'll see whenever you pull this up, it's going to open in a pop-up screen. You may have some sort of pop-up blocker on your web browser, and you'll need to activate pop-ups for that. But you can see here's a copy of the financials along with the AR aging. This part is not included in the homeowner-facing report. The only reports that they do receive are going to be the statement of revenues and expenses and the balance sheet. So this section is board actions. Simply click on this and it's going to have a whole host of other menu items here. If I click on board action items, this is everything as a board member what I need to do. I can see that I've got 2 ARC requests that I need to review as opposed to a delinquent owner that has been sent. There's been a message for, we need to decide on what to do for a delinquent owner. In anything that I do, I can come here and I can click the eyeball, which is going to show me the details. These details are what are captured inside of our screen or inside of our system. We can, everything from when it started, all the steps that it's taken, anybody who's responded. And so for this ARC request, we can see that Andrew Jackson wants to remove his backyard and replace it with a cornfield. So you can send us, by clicking on this section, send it back to manager. You can send us a response. And just that quick, you can respond. Also, you're going to be getting an email that has these XN numbers. These XN numbers are tracking numbers in our system. Everything that we do is tracked. So you can also simply reply to that email and it'll come back in here. Every board member in the association is going to be able to see that. At this point, I've already received a text message that's telling me that there's been a board member who's responded to this ARC request, and now there's an action on our end that we need to do. Moving forward to the homeowners section of the board portal, this is a complete list of all the homeowners that we have on file. It's complete. It's different and more comprehensive than the directory that the homeowners see, because as a board member, you've got access to their addresses, their emails. You can see their balance, and if you click these 3 little dots, you can add other columns. So if I wanted to see the phone number, I could come in here, check that box, and then you can see automatically that it pops up the phone number section. And so if we have phone numbers, which we do for some of these, they are now populated. If I want to see a detail of an individual account, I can click on their account number. In this case, we're now here at Chester Arthur's account. This is going to be a view of what we see on our end in our system. You can see that the transaction types, we've got assessment charges of $1,050, late fees of $50, and special assessments of $400. And I can even click on the transactions tab here and see how all of those transactions were made, how they came about. I can also export this to Excel if I wanted to. Clicking down over here, the violations tab, we can see that there are new violations, open violations. There's also closed violations, things that we've already resolved. But you can come in here and see that there's open violations. We can see that there is trash cans that was assessed. There's been a daily fine. This is the step where it is. But I can also click on the eyeball again and see the details of what's been going on in that action item. So you can see that Josh, today at 12 o'clock, entered a violation for this individual, John Adams, saying, please move the trash can. Then here's the attachment, and so we should be able to see the courtesy notice here that was sent in our system, as well as a photo that downloaded. There's a photo, somehow it's wanting to download that, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But there's a photo here, you can see what that photo is. The other notices that we've been sent, you can click next, go right through them, or you can say, hey, I want to go down and see what that third notice looks like. So all of that is there for your review. If I move over to the work order section, this section is going to be for if we need to get the sign repainted, or if we're going to pressure wash a parking lot, or whatever that may be. We'll actually enter a work order which allows us to track it, allows you as the board member to see the progress, and we can send that information and communicate directly with the vendor through our system. It's going to send an email. It's also going to apply this XN number. And then you can also, as a board member, again, anytime you see a pay-per-click, you can click on the attachment. You can see that Cypress Gardens is struggling a little bit, and they need their sign to be updated and painted. Moving towards ARC. ARC is Architectural Review Committee. We can see that Thomas Jefferson here and Andrew Jackson both want to do something inside their house. So if I click on, again, the eyeball is to view the details. If I click here, I can see that Thomas Jefferson wanted to paint the outside of his house. And ultimately, Abraham Lincoln, as the board member, approved this yesterday. Again, you can type it in here, but if I want to look at the details of this, simply click on the paperclip. We can see that the form that he filled out to submit, as well as the photo of what he wants to look. He wants to have a pretty patriotic house here. So on the collection side, we can see that all of the details surrounding an individual's account. So if I come here and this is how we're going to notify you. Once it gets to this stage right here, it's going to go through our 30, 60, 90-day process, and then it's going to send us to account review. We're going to have to do something with it, and we're going to need to know from the board what needs to be done. So you can see every step that was happened. Yesterday, we moved this from the 30-day, here was the courtesy notice, 30-day notice, 60, 90-day notice, and eventually we reached out to the board. You can see that I reached out to the board yesterday and sent an email asking how we should proceed through this. Again, I can click on the attachments here and see each and every statement that was sent to them, any letters that were sent to them, etc. All of that information is shown right here. So you've got access to that. All of that's tracked in our system. Any emails that's been tracked, you can also pull that up and see a copy of the email that was sent to John Tyler. And so emails, incoming and outgoing emails are tracked. Everything is tracked in our system. Moving on to the invoices section. This is all the invoices that the association pays. You can see here that we've sent a payment to Testy Testerson in the amount of $3,000. Again, I can click on it. I can see exactly a copy of the canceled check here. That's a copy of the check that we had sent, and then a copy of his invoice. So anytime there's something there, that attachment, that paper clip, you can see what those invoices there were for. Again, you can see that we paid Alligators Anonymous $400 to remove the alligator back in 2021. Again, a copy of the canceled check and a copy of the invoice. So one thing to note, if you do not see a copy of the canceled check, we often try to do everything we can via ACH. So my time's showing that I've got about another 60 seconds here, and our goal is to get you in and out here in 15 minutes or less, and then just have you back on your day. So real quick, on the reports, I can run any report I want to. If I want to run an AR aging for Presidential Valley or your association, simply click on the report. Once I'm there, I can change my process date. Okay, well, this is what it was at the end of 2/28, February 28th. I want to see what it was, what it is currently, and then come down here and click preview. It's going to change the date. Hey, well, where were we back in, December 31st? I don't remember where we were at the end of the year. And okay, well, we've got 56,000. So we haven't really been doing a good job at collecting over the last few months because the balance is much higher. Any report can be ran like that. Same thing, income statement, balance sheet, bank reconciliation. There's a meeting sign-in report. So if you, as a homeowner, are having a meeting, an annual meeting, and we're not in attendance, you can come in here and you can run this report, relative ease. It's going to be the same report that we provide whenever there is as a meeting and people can sign in. So that concludes the 15 minutes. I understand that it was very quick. It was high level. This is intended to be high level. It's intended to just show you what the board portal is and how it's used and how it can be used. We will be doing more detailed and in-depth board portal trainings in the next couple of months. Or next month, we've got one going on for ARC and reports, and then following that, we'll do violations and collections.